So, a beautiful human being asked a beautiful question, so I wanted to make a video about this because it comes up a lot. She asked, how can we trust again after we've been betrayed? And that has come up in a lot of coaching calls that I do with my clients. So I want to share with you an incredible 3-step process that I've used with many of my clients, and I've seen powerful healing happen. So I've seen that it works. So just take whatever resonates with you, make it into your own process. There's no law in the universe that this is how this has to be healed or the only way that it can be healed. Use what resonates with you, but I really invite you to consider these ideas and do them. So if you see me looking here, because I have some notes, I want to make sure I remember everything. But step number 1 is to acknowledge the pain and welcome the pain and honor the pain. This is something that is not easy, so that's why it's skipped a lot of times. In many techniques, protocols, I've seen that this can be avoided sometimes because of the pain that it can bring up. But what I've seen as well is that when we dress it up with positive thoughts, then the healing that might happen in most cases might be very superficial. And if that's what people are looking for, I'm perfectly fine with that. But the people that I want to support, I want to encourage and support you with deeper healing. If we dress it up with positive thoughts, before acknowledging the pain, acknowledging the wound that has been caused, then the healing will not go deep. And this part is not easy. So if you need to talk to a friend, if you need to reach out to someone that can support you, please do. But this is such a necessary step if we truly want to heal. If we're tired of superficial healing, that then eventually we're back in the same spot all the time, over and over. So honor your wounds, honor your pain, honor your experience. Honor how that felt to feel betrayed, to feel the anger, the disappointment, whatever it might have been for you. Because what I want you to remember for this first step is a phrase that I love using. I believe there's so much wisdom behind it. It's to get real about how you feel if you want to heal. Let that sink in. Get real about how you feel if you truly want to heal. Number 2. I like number 1. It's tough, but I like it. Number 2. Express it all. Express it. Get it out. Whatever's there, anger, disappointment, fury, fear of going through that again, the pain, the sadness. Express it all. No filters. The mind has filters to get all this out, but the heart doesn't have the same filters that the mind has. If you truly want to heal, allow it to come out. Whether that's through journaling, if that's your preferred method of expressing your feelings. Whether you want to do it in front of the mirror, looking into your eyes, that's very powerful. And you can do it out loud, might be better. Or you can do it inside, but looking deeply into your eyes, very close to the mirror if you can. You can grab a recorder or just use a recording option on your phone and start talking and get it all out. Get it all out. And the good thing, no one's going to have to listen to that. Not even you. You can delete it right away. That way you're not afraid that someone might hear what you just said. That way there's no filters at all. But get it all out. Whatever might be there. This is powerful. Give your wound a voice. Give the wounded you a voice. Give that part of you that is still hurting a voice. Give that part of you that is very disappointed a voice. Give that part of you that's very angry, sad, a voice. So number 1 and 2 are very similar and they go together. For us to go deep, we need this. And number 2 can be scary. Well, both can be scary, but you can't even imagine the amount of healing that can happen after you do this. Incredible healing. I've had sessions, and this, I'm not bragging, but just the first session that I've had with some clients. There was a woman that told me over 9 months of therapy. In one session, she said we went deeper and we healed more than in all that time combined. There was a guy that same thing for over a year. First session, he told me the same thing. We went deeper and we healed more than I've ever healed in all my therapy combined. I'm not into superficial healing. I want true deep healing for me and for you. So get it all out, no filters. It's not easy. I'm not saying it's easy. Might take some practice. Might take more than a few trials. There's no right or wrong. If you do for a minute, but it feels like too much, just walk away. There's no one holding a gun to your head. Find your own pace, find your own time, your own rhythm. Be gentle with yourself. But highly, highly invite you to do this one. Very powerful. Very powerful. Number 3. After you... And also, by the way, I forgot to write this down, but if there's anger, things you wanna, you can express that through dance. If you have a lot of anger in you, you can do boxing, you can do kickboxing, you can do something that at least helps you get that anger out at first, and then you can give that a voice, vocalize and speak it out loud. But sometimes there's so much in there that it feels scary to actually start expressing it. So find what works for you. Find what works for you. Number 3, this is what I do, this is what I invite people to do, and you know what's incredible? In many sessions that I've had, people have told me after this step, I would have never imagined I could feel this way towards that person. After step 3. And with steps 1 and 2, we naturally go into step 3. And something that I want to mention for step 2, if it helps you, imagine you're talking to that person. Imagine you're talking to that person who betrayed you, who made you feel the way you're feeling right now. If you need to blame, blame. There's nothing wrong with getting that out first. We can't heal blame if we don't give ourselves the permission to blame. I'm not saying send them an email, send them a message, call them and blame them. I'm saying within your own experience. Within your own 4 walls, within your room, in your car, wherever you do this. But you can imagine you're actually talking to them. Express exactly how you feel. Blame if you need to blame. Yell, cry, whatever you need. Please. Get real about how you feel if you want to heal. Go deep. Highly invite you to do that. Alright, step 3. After steps 1 and 2, it's so natural to fall into this. Because now you got all that out. All the stuff that's been building up, bubbling up inside of you. Now you got it all out. Step 3. I put myself in their shoes. Nothing that I share is about making what they did right. It doesn't make your experience, doesn't validate what they did. But here's what happens when we acknowledge how we feel, when we get real about how you feel, when we express it out loud and get all that energy that's been stuck for years out. You can now shift into compassion. Because you might have heard the phrase, hurt people hurt people. Hurt people hurt people. What tends to happen for people that haven't healed their own wounds, they're basically showing us the journey that they went through. In most cases when there's abuse, they've been abused. Most cases when they treat us like shit, they've been treated like shit. Many cases when we feel neglected, they've been neglected. They're giving us a preview, a glimpse, an overview of the journey that they've gone through. So if you can truly get in their shoes, get in their place, and we can't go deep with this one if we skip 1 and 2. That's why I have it in this order. For you to be able to go into a place of true, deep compassion, you need to get all of that out first. But now you can realize, like, wow, for someone to treat me that way, whatever it might be, now I'm going more general, whatever that betrayal or disappointment or whatever that was, what happened. For them to do this to me once or twice or 3 times or more, I can't imagine what they went through. I can't imagine how they were treated by their parents, or their family, or their friends, or their teachers in school. And you almost like start to feel their pain. But you feel it from a place of like, wow, I'm sorry. Like now, it happens to many of us, like unexpectedly we're apologizing to the person that hurt us. And not apologizing because you feel like you have to, but apologizing because you realize, like, wow, no human being should go through that. No human being should have to go through that experience. I'm so sorry that you've gone through that. I'm sorry that you've gone through that experience, and I understand now that maybe you haven't been able to heal that. Maybe you haven't had the support. You don't know how to heal that. So I forgive you. I'm sorry. It's not easy. It's not easy. But at the same time, I realized I don't want to let one person or one experience or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 stop me from being a loving person. And I understand the idea of barriers, right? There's a lot of talk about barriers in the spiritual journey and the self-development industry. And I don't even want to go there. I don't even want to go there, because just do whatever resonates with you when it comes to barriers. But at the same time, I invite you to consider the idea, the more barriers we have in our lives, imaginary or whatever, the more separation there is. And I'm not about separation. Just think about that. Food for thought. Nothing wrong with barriers, of course. We need them at times. We're human beings. But I don't want to let one person or an experience stop me from being the loving, caring, giving person that I am. And it's not easy. I'm not saying that's easy. But I also want to share with you Rumi's quote. He has a lot of incredible quotes, but there's one that caught my attention. He said, you have to keep breaking your heart until it opens. Doesn't sound that exciting, but there might be a lot of truth behind that. We have barriers within our hearts to protect us. And that's perfectly fine. We've needed them in the past. We might still need them. But what I've realized is that first of all, it's not our heart that breaks. It's the shell that we've built around our heart to protect us from our fear. That's what's being cracked open, which is beautiful. If you're watching this video, you're probably an empath. You're probably a caring, loving person. And what I believe is that these kinds of experiences are placed in our journey so that we can become more unconditionally loving beings. Just some food for thought. I truly hope this helps. Any questions, let me know. Much love. I forgot to add that I know that for some people this might seem like I didn't even answer the question. It might be a very indirect way of looking at what's really going on, but what I want to offer to you is that what if that hesitation to trusting again, that fear to trusting again, we think that that's the problem. But what if that's only a symptom of what's really going on? That's what why I'm taking you deeper. That's why I'm inviting you to heal the deeper wound and see what's really going on, so that over time it's just natural and easier to trust. Because I could give you techniques, right? You can just Google techniques and tools and whatever for you to be able to trust more. And that's just putting a band-aid on the wound, on the real thing that's going on. That's just ignoring what's going on, just finding little pills to take. That would be like you having something that you need to take care of, but you keep taking painkillers throughout your entire life. What I'm offering is a way to heal the actual wound, the actual thing that's going on. So just some food for thought. What if that what we think is a problem is actually just a symptom of the real problem? I don't even like to call it a problem, but you know what I mean. I hope that helps.